What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and the overall markets. I'm also going to be talking about what's going on with Elon Musk, as he's been saying some very important things about Tesla. But just notes that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And don't forget about the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, and the offer ends in a couple of weeks. Anyways, for Tesla, in my previous video, I mentioned that we're going to likely see this thing dip and then bounce. And when it comes to our dip, we did come down to about this 224 area, came just short to my target of 222 before we saw this thing get bought back up. But overall, like I was saying, Tesla is on an uptrend for the medium term, right? If you look at the trend Tesla's been in since we were in August, this thing has been technically making higher lows. Now, I do want to note that we're not at all-time highs and we're still very low compared to the all-time high. So I'm not saying that Tesla is extremely bullish in a way where we're about to break to all-time highs or anything like that. I'm just saying that for the short term, we are on an uptrend and we're doing a good job at holding up. Now, from what I see from this point on, okay, for those who are talking about like all-time highs, it's going to take a while for us to break all-time highs. There's a lot going on with the economy that's affecting Tesla. But once things start to settle, things are going to be just fine. So I just want to clarify that real quick. And now when it comes to the medium term for Tesla, I just want to say that right now we're doing a good job at holding up. We dipped a bit only to bounce back up to about this 230 area, only to come back down to start consolidating. So I'll be watching to see how well we hold up at these levels. And the same thing can be said about SPY as we're shuffling within a range. But so far, we're doing a good job. Now, when it comes to news about the markets, just notes that there's not really much coming out until we get like some bill auctions. At 11:30 a.m., we have a couple of bill auctions, but it's all very minor. As far as the news goes for Tesla, there's some talk coming out about how the Gigafactory is now filled up with Cybertrucks as Q3 is coming to its end. And this is when we tend to see things get a lot more intense for their sales. So we're hoping that Tesla gets a big push for the next couple of weeks to conclude Q3. In just a couple of weeks, we're going to be going over their Q3 deliveries reports and production reports. I can't wait for that. It's going to be very, very huge. And we'll see how things end up going for Tesla with that. So the next couple of weeks are going to be very, very important. We have their deliveries coming out in just a few weeks. Then we also have the Robotaxi event. There's been a lot of talk involving Elon Musk. So Elon Musk has been tweeting this right over here. Tesla tweeted that Tesla retail shareholders could sign up and verify their shares on the Tesla shareholder platform for a chance to win an event to go to Los Angeles to see the Tesla Robotaxi event on 10/10. Right, that's very, very cool stuff. Musk is saying we should sign up and vote. So I think it's pretty cool if people do win a chance to be able to attend the event. What's so important about the event is that Elon Musk is saying that this is going to be a very important event. So whole Mars Catalog tweeted that 10/10 or October 10th is going to be the most significant moment for Tesla since the unveil of the Model 3. And Musk said, yes, this is going to be very significant. We have a very, very big thing ahead of us for the Robotaxi events, and it's going to be very massive for Tesla's future. So I can't wait to see what Tesla's about to announce. Musk has talked many times about how the Robotaxi is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar market for Tesla, and it's going to be helping not only with the share price, but a lot of growth moving forward. So we're going to be looking for some interesting volatility as we get into October. Can't wait to see what this leads to. Excuse me, guys. At least as time goes on. Musk also retweeted this about Tesla Energy as they're expanding with the team. The team is once again working with different companies to improve their overall systems, their circuits, and such. And then on top of this, they're working very hard to get those numbers up, especially as we approach the end of the quarter. So I can't wait to see what Tesla ends up doing. So I'm very excited for what the future holds for the company. Musk did say some very important things. And I think that I do agree with his points about the Robotaxi event being very, very huge. I think that it's going to lead to something very significant for the company. We've been waiting for this, especially because they delayed it. So they delayed it because of some design changes. I can't wait to see what they're about to unveil. It's very, very cool stuff. Anyways, as far as Tesla goes, we are still just range bound. We're looking at this resistance in this 228 zone and also at 230. And if we lose 228, we're looking for 225 all over again, followed by potentially 222. Overall, I think Tesla is just shuffling. If you look at, for instance, the 5-minute time frame, we look like this. We're just range bound right now. We're stuck between our EMAs and the resistance. So the resistance is going to be at this 230 area, and the EMAs are around like the 227, 226 zone. So I think we're going to mostly likely go back and forth for the time being, not really doing too much. Now, as far as SPY goes, we're doing the same thing, kind of going back and forth and back and forth. I did mention that this is going to dip to 553. If that fails, we're looking for 550. So those are going to be your key levels to watch for. So if we do dip, just remember we have 555 as our first support. 553 is the next strongest support, followed by the 550 area. Resistance, you're going to basically be looking for 557, not to mention higher levels such as 558 and then 560. As of right now, SPY is shuffling in the 555 area. So resistance is like kind of tough at 556, then support's trying to hold us up at 555. So we're just shuffling between this range, and we're waiting to see where this ends up going. The 4 hour still looks more bullish, so even if as long as we hold above 555, we could continue to pump higher later on, and we're still doing a good job at holding up. If we lose 553, we will turn a little bit more bearish. We could be looking for a dip. Otherwise, we're still just shuffling, and we're still doing a good job at holding up. For Nvda, we look more bullish. I mentioned to everyone that we might see a little bit of a dip on Nvidia. It's about 115, if not 112, before we try to bounce back up to 120. As you guys can see, we went up to about 115, so it came to the first support, not the second one, the first one, before it tried to rebound. Now we're shuffling near 120. If we break that, we're looking for 123. If we lose that, we could be tipping, but so far we're doing a good job. For ES, so Nvidia is holding up nicely between, by the way, 218 to 220. It could push higher if we break 220, but overall, it's just doing a good job at holding up. Anyways, going back to ES, we have 5580 as resistance, and then 5550 as support. We're just shuffling right over here, consolidating. We'll see if we break past 5580, so we'll give this some time. I think we just consolidate for a bit, and then we're going to be stuck in the range until we see one of those directions break. For Bitcoin, we have 58,700 as resistance and about 56,000 as support. We ended up basically kind of like dipping a little bit right over here before trying to push, and we're just range bound between these levels. So we'll see which way we break. If we lose the support, we're looking for 56,000. If we break past 58,700, we're going to be looking for a push. Otherwise, we're just range bound. For NQ, we have potential for upside if we hold above 19,200. I was thinking this would dip close to about 19,100, but we came a little bit short of that target before we saw this thing try to rebound. So it's still holding up nicely. If we lose 19,100, we're looking for basically 19,000 flats. As long as we're above 19,250, we could try to push higher for the 19,500 target. So we're doing a good job at holding up. For the QQQ, we have this resistance to watch for around this 472 area. If we break that, we're looking for basically 475. And if we end up losing support at 466, we're looking for a dip back down to 463. I presume we're just going to be range bound for now. It is possible we try to push higher, but just give this the time we need. But that's pretty much it for the time being. For Apple, we're just completely range bound right now. We have 222.5 as our resistance, not to mention 223.8 and then 225. If we end up losing 221, we could be dipping back down to 219. We're just completely range bound, so give this the time it needs, and we'll see how things end up developing from here. For the IWM, we look a little bit more bullish. I said this likely bottom at 204. Now we're trying to rebound. We're looking for a test of 211. So it looks more bullish. I think we could be hitting the resistance at 211.78. If that breaks, we're looking for 214. We're doing a good job so far at holding up. We're outperforming many stocks out there. This looks more bullish. For Coinbase, we called out 160. I said it might dip to 155, then bounce to 160. We ended up dipping to about 156, and then we bounced back up to 160 as predicted. As long as we hold above 158, we remain bullish. We could try to push higher. If we lose that, we turn bearish, but this is still favoring upside. Amazon dipped a bit. I was thinking it would dip down to 182 and then try to rebound. We actually only dipped about 183, so it didn't dip as hard as I thought. Now it's holding up very nicely. So look at 185 as resistance and 183 as support. We're just range bound for now, so we have to give it some time. For Meta, we pushed to about 520. If we break 520, we're looking for 524. And if we end up rejecting, we're looking for support at 512. I see potential upside coming in this if we break 520, so give this some time. For Microsoft, we pushed up to about 425, and then we dipped back down to about 419. If 419 fails us, we're going to be dipping all the way down to about basically this 417 area. If we hold support, we could try to rebound, but we'll just have to wait and see. Microsoft is barely holding 420. This is going to be a big test. We'll see if it holds or not. And then Google's outperforming the market. I mentioned this as well. As long as we hold above 153, we remain bullish. If 153 fails us, we turn back down, but this is still favoring upside for not just 154.8, but also like the 156 area, as long as we hold above 153. Anyways, that's it for my analysis of the markets. Right now, Tesla's just continuing to shuffle near the 228 area. So I'm going to give this some time just to see how things end up progressing, but that's pretty much it for my update for the time being. We're just range bound. There is more upside potential in the market as long as we hold our key supports. So as long as Tesla holds 228 and SPY holds 555, we're going to be in a good place. We'll see where we close, but for now, the market's just shuffling and we'll give it some time. Thank you for listening, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours for another update, and peace out.